Welcome to Black and White Builds 423, everyone. Today I am doing what I've been wanting to do ever since buying this new Raptor. I had a local subscriber and follower hit me up on Instagram and tell me, hey man, I've got the first gen Raptor. Let's do a little comparison video, which I think is awesome because it's crazy to think, but I've actually never been in or got to ride in the first gen Raptor. This is my first experience with the Raptor ever. I've always loved them, but I never got to toy around with one of the first gens. So we're about to go meet up with him, compare side by side, do a full walk around, interior, exterior, engine bays, and then I've never rode in the big boy V8 engine first gen. He's never rode in this new EcoBoost Raptor. So I'm going to take a ride in his, and I'm going to show you all what I think, being that I've never rode in one, so you'll get a first type of reaction. And then I'm going to show you guys what he thinks whenever we take a ride in this thing, and then kind of see what we collaborate between each other, saying, hey, you know, I like this or I hate this, you know, back and forth about each one, which they're Raptors. There's not going to be anything that you can hate other than he might not like, you know, a V6 with twin turbos, he likes his V8, or I might possibly think, hey, you know, I think my V6, because of the turbos, is a little quicker than the V8. But anyways, let's jump in the truck, let's go meet this guy. There we go, there's the first gen I'll be comparing to, and we're heading down to a different location where there's not as many people. Here we go for the interior. This is the last year of this generation of Raptor, which the interior is definitely different than what I remember when I originally seen one back when I was like 16 years old, which I do like it though a lot. Then all the components. There you go. So right now, I don't know how long he's been doing this, but it says 12.9 miles to the gallon. Setup's a little bit different. Trans temp, but then if there's a trailer adapted, you'll have another one come up there. You have your trips. Fuel economy, 2 different levels to show you the most recent. Your different off-roading apps. Trailer again, then just all the different things you actually want to choose yourself. If you all remember the 2013 Platinum I had, it had this exact same setup. It's a pretty good setup. They just made it to where it's a little bit more phone-like now because people were complaining. I felt like there was no issues with this whatsoever, but back then it still has the AC seats and everything. So I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference. They redesigned the whole interior, obviously, but electronics-wise, there's not a lot of difference. As you see right here, they still had Sony back on the first generation. They have switched that up now. You still have all your jacks, which that's the same setup as mine. The only difference is now they have buttons here for heated seats in the back. That's the only difference whatsoever. Has almost the exact same storeway area. Both years have the 17-inch wheels and are still running the same type of tire, the BF Goodrich All-Terrains. He does have the beadlock wheels while I do not have that. The running boards are the same type. They are a little bit different with how the newer ones say Raptor right here now. And then it has the exhaust coming out from behind the right rear tire, and we will jump to that here in just a moment and listen to this thing purr and check the sound differences. I know quite a few of y'all that's been with the channel have obviously seen what all this truck has and does. Go ahead and show again what the interior is like. It's a little different because you go left to right to see all the things on this one. And right now I'm at 14.2 miles to the gallon, but that's a lot of in-town driving. I'm sure he's driving about the same as me, so possibly this one gets a little better fuel mileage. Not 100% sure, to be honest though. You have all of your trips, fuel economy, fuel history, so you have the same kind of graph that he had, navigation, then your auto start stop, whatever you want to decide what to do with that, since a lot of people absolutely hate it. Gauge selection to be able to change the turbo to transmission or whatever you want. Tires, mile per hour, your hours, your fuel or your oil life, your keys. Then go over to towing. I obviously don't have a trailer right now, so it's not going to be able to show you a whole lot. And then your off-road modes. This is where they are just a little different between his and mine. Right here you get to see your power ratio change whenever you're into the gas, and have it in four-wheel drive. It'll show which tire's getting what percentage of power. And then the same with just all the settings that you can choose for your preference. There is the new sound system that they have in the Raptors. Here's the difference in the center console. On the first gens, it only had this first half for the sunroof. And there's your difference in interior, which this can come in an orange color instead of this gray on the edging. But that's the only thing you can change for that. And he already told me he does like how it came with the Ford Performance badge there. Then for the back, the storage is almost the exact same. It's just a little bit wider here for me. Then your outlets, I do have a little bit different outlets, and there's the heated seats I was telling you about a little bit ago. I know they're a little dirty, but here are my non-beadlock wheels. They didn't have a white one there with the beadlock wheels, and I personally do like these wheels until I go buy my own specific set that I like. But still 17-inch wheels, same tire, as you can tell, same tire. And then how I was saying, the runner boards still has like the Rhino or Line-X texture to it. Just mine says Raptor right there, so just to change it up from model to model. And then I have the rear exiting exhaust, true duals on the rear, which now it is time to hear these bad boys fire up and see what you all think about the sound. Just one more thing that was pointed out to me by him. He doesn't have a step on his tailgate here. You know, nice old school, which we are contemplating right now whether it was an option or not. His doesn't have it, but put a comment down below and let us know if you could have bought it with that or not. We're not 100% sure. Then here's a little bit of difference. Newer, more technology. It does it all for you now and makes me feel extremely lazy. But just like the Super Duties, these now have the nice pull-out step to where you can more easily jump in and out. But now seeing his nice Line-X in the bed of his truck, I do believe that might happen next week because I do need a liner in this. Here we go, we're in the EcoBoost. Raptor. Obviously, since I'm driving, I'm gonna let him drive his truck. But he's never rode in one of these. He asked me to ride in one, so other than it being extremely quiet in here, we'll see what he thinks about the power, you know, V6 turbos versus the big boy 6.2 liter V8. That was a bump in the road. The truck's not braking, I promise.
That's nice. I like that.
It gets up and goes.
Coming from a V8, I can already tell that has more power.
Did you guys hear that? All the ones that are mad that I didn't buy a V8? Did you hear that? Which, granted, whenever we get in his truck, I do miss having a V8, so I'm probably like, man, I really wish I could go back to the V8s. Had a 0 to 50 before hitting the bumps, and then a 0 to 70, which I was in a turn, you know. But do you think it's okay that it has a V6 now?
Yeah, and I know I noticed the noise. It's not as muffled.
Yes, it is a crisp noise. Yeah.
In my truck, even when you're flooring it, it's still not very loud.
Well, granted, supposedly Ford, I know a lot of you all probably know this, but supposedly they make it sound better by adding a little bit of a hint of sound in the speakers.
Yeah.
Which either way, from a driver's aspect, it still sounds good, and that's what a lot of people care about is the sound. Whether it comes through the speakers or from the tailpipes, it still sounds like it's coming from the engine to the driver. So if Ford did do that, hey, kudos to you guys, it still sounds good. Alright, now that you've driven in it, you've seen a few things for this, which I will do the same. I will go ahead and give my update as soon as I ride in his truck and, you know, see a few things that are different here and there. But what have you noticed different about this truck that I haven't fully covered?
Well, I know the display is updated. It's easier to see, like changing fan speed or AC or volume. It's easier to see.
It pops up over the whole screen instead of just a little corner like they do on the first gens. Then this one has paddle shifters. I already noticed that, but I didn't cover it earlier. These have paddle shifters. His didn't come with that.
Yeah, it's just got it on the...
One thing before we get into this, I'm definitely going to have to say, thank gosh she has air-conditioned seats just like I do. I'm extremely used to them. I am a little, you know, spoiled with that. And being that it's 90 degrees and the sun is beating down hard today, the AC seats make all the difference. There's the same bump. I have to say, being that yours is naturally aspirated, I would definitely say it pulls initially a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because I got like turbo spool, so you have that initial in-your-face punch, but
you got top speed.
I think at the end of the day, launching them, you'll take me. Top end, I might get you.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's one more thing that we have just noticed. He's seen that I was changing a few things whenever we got into my truck and asked me if it was traction control or whatever it is. No, all I did was I moved mine to sport mode, and he just confirmed with me that the first gen doesn't have the ability while the second gen does, to where you can change throughout all your different modes. I think I've got sport, all weather, snow, mud, and rock, I believe are my modes. Just trying to go off the top of my head, I think.
Sand, I think, is another one.
Yes. Instead of all weather, I believe it's sand. I think you're right on that.
Yeah, mine's got off-road. That's it. So you're either off-road or you're not.
You're sending it or you're not.
Right.
Back here at the house, that is a final little comparison of the first gen versus the second gen. At the end of the day, he said he would rather have the EcoBoost V6 over here, which, I mean, the new one definitely does have its, you know, little features here and there to make it, you know, stand out a little bit more than that first gen does. But I think they're both still stellar trucks. I think his truck would take me off the line hardcore unless I did a hardcore boosted launch to where the turbos were already spooled up a little bit. But, you know, I think about the 1/8 mile in the quarter mile run. I think I catch about the 1/8 mile and pull for the last 1/8 of a mile on the quarter. But anyways, tell us what you think about that little addition. We even started talking and contemplating on what upgrades we want to do. So we might have another little video later on in the future about what he's done versus what I've done. But anyways, I gotta jump over to the 72 and get that thing up and running and work on it some more. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Stopping by for the first time, please subscribe. Y'all have a great day.